경기장 도시형.
All right, guys, here we are on Tal'Darim Altar. It is going to be in the purple, in the Protoss race, imbaFXO.Elbegast. Sounds like an evil wizard. And in the bottom left, in the red, from the team mTw.Dimaga with the manner, good luck, have fun, GG. It is mTw.Dimaga.
All right, and I actually don't think that Elbegast was actually telling him, you too, good luck, have fun as well. I think that's just what he happened to be spamming at the time and just decided to hit enter.
Maybe.
Because he threw that out there a lot.
What's you? I don't know. I think
you
that's
too.
for
no, I understand.
Standard hotkeys. I actually don't know. I play grids. So. Yep.
All right, you random players, you.
I don't know. I just like grid. You know, a lot. I've heard that Rhett plays grid.
Yeah. No. Oh no. There's quite a few players that
well,
play grid that are quite good. But I was. It always seemed logical to me, but I think I'm just going to move to a custom hotkey set because it just seems to make more sense. So.
Yeah, I'm too lazy to actually set one up.
Hey, that's why I said I'm moving to one. I didn't say I did move to one. You know, I'm lazy too.
There are those people, like, I don't know if you know that guy, but one of my friends, he always is like working on a new custom hotkey setup, and so he like never really knows his hotkeys. So every time he plays, like, I've got new hotkeys, so I'm like, dude, just like settle for something, you know?
Yeah.
Pick a setup and just stick with it.
Hey, that flips me out even when I'm just playing an RPG or something like that. When I switch up my hotkeys in Skyrim, and I think I'm about ready to hit someone with a fireball, and all of a sudden I heal myself and transmute all of my silver ore into gold.
Yeah.
That's no good.
No, not quite as great. Fairly standard opening, rather, from these guys. Dimaga getting his pool, getting some economy going. He's going to go ahead and throw down a hatchery as well.
Yep.
And back at the base of Elbegast, pretty normal as well. Getting his gas, getting his gateway. Have to see if he decides to expand. I would imagine this is going to be some sort of expand build. It is interesting, though. I got to say that he's not Forge expanding. That's kind of the popular thing to do on this map for Protoss versus Zerg right now. So I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to do.
Yeah, this is just kind of a crazy way to get at a wall here.
I don't think that's a wall in if you just stick a Zelt in the middle there either. I don't know for sure, but I feel like there's a little bit of extra space there. I might be wrong. We'll see.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and check as Dimaga is going to run in here in a bit. Now, I do know that as there's a little bit of raised ground right here, that parts of this aren't accessible by units, but I'm not sure how much of that is inaccessible and what it takes to actually get a unit through. So a lot of lings coming out now, 6 of them as a matter of fact, not the normal 4 and then a Jerome. He's not going to produce too many more than that, but it looks like he'll want to try and get in here and at least knock out a pylon in the meantime.
Yep, not a bad thing to do to try to get a Zergling in there and just see what you can see. It's important. It can be really difficult for Zerg to scout in this matchup just because the Stalkers are there to take down Overlords. I mean, it can be kind of tough sometimes. So if you can get that Zergling in early, you know, click the gases, see how much they've been using, it's pretty great.
Okay, so let's see here. Stalker actually following this now for Elbegast. We'll see what Dimaga sees now. He makes his way to the front. He's kind of a weird wall. And kind of importantly as well, you know, he's not going to see hidden tech there, but he does know that a Stalker followed this Zealot, and that there's really weird build in place with no expansion quite yet. So
yeah, this is a really weird expand. It's a 1-gate expand versus Zerg, which seems a bit risky on a map like this, especially where you've got no sort of wall in protecting your natural at all, really.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, you can see Dimaga producing a few more lings, but this is a weird opening in PvZ, I gotta say.
I think it was just the way it was executed, too. I mean, of course, the 1-gate sentry expand's not as popular here because most people would do that, you know, inside of their main conventionally, but then excuse me, those sentries would be able to make their way out to the front, or they'd be able to defend their front wall a lot easier, or you would have expected to have seen the gateway being thrown down up at the front instead of the cybernetics core. It's, again, just kind of the way it was executed that made it seem so darn weird.
Yeah, a little bit odd, but, you know, it might still be okay. I mean, weird doesn't necessarily mean bad. So,
sure.
You know, and Dimaga's not getting, you know, really overly aggressive. In fact, it looks like he just wants to take a fast third. He's got his lings down there breaking down the rocks right now. And there's the wall for Elbegast, so you know, he'll be okay.
Okay, so layer tech coming out for Dimaga at the same time that we have a smattering of buildings down now for Elbegast.
Yeah, quick layer from Dimaga. You know, I haven't seen a lot of his PvZ lately. I wonder a bit if he's the type of player now to go into something like Mutalisk on this map. More and more Zergs have been playing around with Mutalisk versus Protoss, so we'll have to see if that's what he does.
All right. Well, let's see. 3 gates now in place for Elbegast. And let's see here. Okay, no, his warp gate is done. He just hasn't turned this into a warp gate yet. I was afraid it was going to be a situation like... I remember watching a game of Kiwi Kakis one time where he just left the end of the game because he was like, I forgot warp gate research.
Yeah, that does happen from time to time. It's not any fun at all if you forget that. Dimaga sending a pretty good-sized group of Zerglings out across the map to do a bit of a poke just to see what he can do. He's obviously not going to be able to get in there and do any damage. What double Stargate?
This is such a weird time for this.
This is okay. And Spire from Dimaga, too. I was kind of wondering, just with the timing of the lair and the amount of gas he had.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dimaga's timings look very all right to me. I mean, if you're going to go quick 2-base Spire, he did it about right. I mean, that's about what I would expect. Elbegast, though, has got me scratching my head a little bit. It's just, again, arriving at double Stargates and going into gateways after that, not that weird of a build. It's just the way he's going about it, not a Forge Fast expand up at the front. It was just a really weird timed 1-gate expand with a smattering of buildings and then going into double Stargate afterwards. So we'll see how Dimaga actually reacts to this. His Spire's about, what, 2/3 of the way done? Yeah, exactly 2/3 of the way done. Yeah,
this might actually go terribly well for Dimaga because when you get in the situation where it's Phoenix versus Muta, it's kind of a race. You know, if Protoss can Quantum Boost out enough Phoenixes, usually whoever starts production first ends up winning that kind of that race in this matchup. So I think in this case, Elbegast is going to be in pretty good shape. But then again, when it comes down to actually maneuvering the units, it's fairly easy once in a while for some Phoenixes to be caught in a little ball by a big group of Mutas, and they just die so quickly. So, you know, while Elbegast is going to be in a good position with this, he's going to still need to be really careful about how he micros his Phoenixes against the Mutalisks of Dimaga.
Right, because on the flip side, if Elbegast has perfect control, then his Phoenixes will slaughter a group of Mutas.
Yeah, and he's going to have more, too, which helps quite a bit.
Exactly. So it's really just going to come down to his control, as you mentioned. Let's see here. We finally do have a third hatch just about to finish up for Dimaga. His creep spread is actually looking quite good right now, going in all directions.
That's Dimaga. He's really, really good at this type of thing. He's just got such solid mechanics. He's one of my favorite players to watch. I feel bad that I haven't been able to see him quite as much lately. But, yeah, he's awesome. It's at a second Spire, too, so he's going to go really heavy on the flyer upgrades.
Holy cow,
This is going to be an interesting game, man.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to how this is going to pan out. So what has he actually scouted from his opponent? Okay, doesn't look like he knows that the Phoenixes are there. Actually, where are the Phoenixes? There they are. Okay. So they're going to make their way out right now. The first few Mutas are already up and flying around. And there's honestly not a whole lot much else that's there.
Yeah, well, I've got a feeling Elbegast is going to want to do some harassment with this, maybe pick off a queen and some drones, but he's going to run right into those Mutas, and how is Dimaga going to react? Is he going to go for it? Yes, he is, and that is not the best situation here, but I think there might be enough Phoenixes. In fact, there are, so Dimaga is going to need to make a choice here. He's like, all right, I've really kind of thrown a lot into this airplay. Am I going to keep doing it? Yeah, it looks like he is going to produce some Corruptors. Those are going to help quite a bit in terms of keeping those Mutalisks safe.
Elbegast spent a lot of money on ancillary buildings as well. Ended up putting up another 3 gateways and a robo on top of that as well. So he's on 6-gate robo with double Stargate and Twilight Council off of just 2 base. And he's investing in upgrades with his Forge. So that's overextending his economy off of 2 base just a little bit. But he is doing some pretty good economic damage now with these Phoenixes.
Yeah, you know, in this situation, against what Dimaga is doing, it's perfectly fine. I think it's great. It's going to help him out a lot. He's going to need to worry about taking third fairly soon, although he may just be gearing up for some sort of big 2-base timing push. We'll have to see. Dimaga, though, adding those Corruptors, definitely something you need to do in this case. If you just keep going Mutas, there's just not a way you can produce them fast enough to keep up with the Phoenix production if your opponent wants to really kind of devote himself to Phoenixes. Phoenix. Phoenix. That always makes me think of Boy Meets World whenever I...
Phoenix is ducking away now at the moment. Let's see here. There are 10 that are sitting out there. Has he stopped his production? Yeah, it looks like he finally has stopped Phoenix production for a little while. Units preemptively moving down to the bottom left-hand corner. They're going to try and catch a couple of these Phoenixes off guard. And looks like none have fallen quite yet. One got quite low. Now, Corruptors are quite the deterrent to Phoenixes, but Elbegast just kind of sticking in there.
Wow. Bold move by Elbegast, but he is thinning out those Muta numbers pretty well. I mean, that +1 weapon on the Phoenix does so much damage to Mutalisks.
Why no expand, Elbegast?
Oh, nice big 2-base push coming out, timing it out with +2 weapons. And this is going to be tough for Dimaga to hold, I got to say. I mean, it's going to be pretty close.
All right. I definitely agree with you. I'm a little shocked, though, that Elbegast hasn't decided to expand at all through this process,
he's
though.
He's just going to try to end the game with this. I mean, this is kind of his plan all along, I think.
Definitely agree with you, but I'll see what his follow-up is going to be.
That's the question.
He does have a lot of stuff. My God, he has a lot of stuff right now. Dimaga just has a lot of nothing, actually.
Dimaga's, well, his upgrades are looking good. He needs to produce more spine crawlers to hold this up. He's produced enough already that this should go pretty well. And, yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's got some lings. He's got some queens for transfuse. He's got some corruptors for the air stuff. But, you know, is he going to be able to survive there? Yeah, I was about to say, needs more spines. There they are. Are they going to get done in time?
Well, let's see. These corruptors are probably going to run to the front here to start tanking those phoenixes a little bit. One phoenix has fallen. A few more are getting pushed back at the moment. The spine crawlers are just now about to finish.
Oh, they do finish.
Nice job.
Fuses. Two of those queens, keeping them alive. Awesome defense from mTw.Dimaga. Producing some more lings here. I think he might have enough queens to hold that off, combining that with spine crawlers. He's moving some more over, and it looks like he does. Dimaga doing a great job of pushing back Elbegast. It's not over yet, but he's looking okay. And
this is a pretty smart switch out of Dimaga as well, because as the Phoenixes start to go down, he can actually get himself back a few Mutalisks that are going to have +2 weapons here in just a bit.
Yeah, 17 Mutas coming out right now for Dimaga. Well, that is going to be a huge surprise for Elbegast. I mean, especially after the Stalker count got a little bit thinned out there. And, yeah, he's actually just going to go home. And now Elbegast, without that third, is in kind of a big amount of trouble right now.
That's what I was worried about. I mean, I thought he had plenty of stuff out there to do some damage, but I just wondered what his follow-up was going to be. And unfortunately, there's just, well, really not much of one.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Those changelings, though, they're not fooling anybody. Or maybe they are. Maybe they are fooling people. That is a big amount of mutas for Dimaga. How many is he up to right now?
Let's see. Just those 17? Okay, he had one more floating around, so he has 18, 5 more coming up. So he'll be on 23 as soon as those are done. Still has those few corruptors floating out there. No infestation pit for an eventual switch over to Greater Spire or anything like that.
Yep, just kind of sticking on that Tier 2 tech for quite a while here. And Elbegast is going to try to take his third after that all-in kind of failed from him. But you know, is it going to be soon enough? I mean, Dimaga's taking his fourth already, so he's going to be way ahead in economy. The nice thing for Elbegast, though, is that if he's smart, he's going to be scouting all over the map with those Phoenixes, so nothing's really going to surprise him. Yeah,
right.
He's going to see the fourth right now, actually, with those Phoenixes down there. Yep, he does see it right away. So he knows, but you know, knowing something and being able to do something about it are kind of two different things here.
Oh, and he's missed those units moving out across the map as well, and that is a big pack of mutas.
It is. That is a big flock of mutas, a murder of mutas, I guess. A lot of stalkers, though, too. Dimaga's going to have to get out of here.
And he actually picks off most of the stalkers that were just starting to morph in. It looks like he loses... Wow, actually quite a few Mutalisks there. Needs to get away. Wow. There we go. Oh, but catches the probe train. Very nice win for him.
Ouch. Yeah, that is huge to catch those probes there. You know, he did have the +1 carapace as well. Oh, he's going to be able to cause a cancel on this third, too.
Yes, he is. And it looks like he's just sitting there with those mutas waiting to fly back in one more time. Now, admittedly, he only lost 6 mutas, and he killed a ton of probes, a good number of units there. Actually, what's the workers killed at? Now 20, and those mutas will be able to flock back in a second.
Yeah, Dimaga's going to be able to just annihilate the worker numbers, and I think he's right. Yeah, with the Zerglings, he has more than enough. Oh, you can't leave. There he goes, blinking, but I think there's going to be enough mutas there to take out quite a few stalkers.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, Dimaga, I mean, just sending those lings up to the top while attacking with the mutas in other place, I mean, really showing off his multitasking there as well. I think he's one of the best players in Europe as far as that goes.
And, man, he is just expanding everywhere at the moment. But you're definitely right. Multitasking very good. He's got a grip on the situation now as well. There's not, you know, a lot of mining that's being done for Elbegast at the moment. And it's going to be pretty easy to go through and kill it as well. Look at that. Elbegast already long-distance mining at the moment. And looks like Dimaga's going to try and just outright kill this third.
He's going to go. It's Mutaling. And no, he's not going to. Okay, just kind of being safe, being okay, that's not bad. Oh, no, catching more probes transferring.
Oh, no.
That doesn't help at all.
So many workers killed.
Down. And Dimaga, you know, that's a lot of Zealots, but he might have enough to take this out right here. We'll see.
So smart by Dimaga. He decided to just go through the Phoenixes to begin, so he made sure that he was able to focus those down, because once those go down, he knew he had more than enough to take out the Stalkers, and then nothing remains that can touch these Mutas.
Yeah, that is going to be about it. I don't know if Elbegast can produce enough anti-air to come back. You can see that 5 more Mutas on the production queue right now. No anti-air at all coming out for Elbegast. All he has is those Zealots. Dimaga, too, doing a great job of expanding to different sides of the map, making it very difficult for the Protoss player to do anything about those expansions.
And let's remember how far down Dimaga was in this game. 115 to 155 supply to a Protoss opponent who had him beat directly in the unit's air that Dimaga had on the field. And yet Dimaga was able to find a way with that brilliant hold to that 2-base all-in and make his way back in.
Well, yeah, he just there's the GG.
So good.
Awesome play by Dimaga. I mean, he just responded really well to kind of that rough situation that he was in. Made all those spine crawlers. That's really kind of what saved the day for him there. Goes back and gets a win for mTw.